No long-winded intro, let's get this farty sharted. I just learned about a really peculiar stalker. Not that there's like a normal stalker, but this guy is very unusual even when it comes to stalkers. And his obsession is on Jennifer Aniston. Now, according to his wife, according to Daily Mail, she said that he became obsessed with her in 2023, and he's made 3 trips out to try and meet her. His most recent one ended with him crashing his car through Jennifer Aniston's gate and getting arrested.
Was the intruder who crashed through Jennifer Aniston's security gate at her Bel Air compound an obsessed fan who thought he was going to marry the actress?
Security has a suspect at gunpoint.
The close call happened yesterday around noon while Aniston was at home.
So he used his car like a missile trying to get through Jennifer Aniston's gate, and I'm getting conflicting reports on whether or not he rammed through the gate or just hit it. I mean, looking at the gate, it doesn't seem like he blew it to pieces or anything. Also, that gate looks thicker than a fucking bowl of oatmeal. That looks like a giant, thick vault door. So I'm surprised that his car didn't vaporize upon impact there. Now, this wasn't like some accident or anything. It's not like this guy was playing Mario Kart looking for a shortcut through her, gate. This is an obsessed stalker who found where she lived and then, come hell or high water, decided he was going to meet her.
His name is Jimmy Carwile. He's a 48-year-old mechanic and from Mississippi. On his social media, we found these rambling posts about Jennifer Aniston. I want to be there with you, even right now. And, Jen, I am your mirror. We made you perfect.
Unhinged ramblings about his fixation on Jennifer with this fantasy of the two of them getting married. And he would talk about Jennifer Aniston the same way you'll see some people talk about Genshin Impact characters. Like, he was just going on and on about romance and love and how they're, like, destined to be together. She was to be his queen, and it gets really fucking weird.
He even writes about marrying the actress, even addressing her by her new fantasy name. I know I make you smile, Mrs. Jennifer Joanna Carwile. And there's this. The truth, Jen, when you were a child, you wanted to be my wife.
For the most part, a lot of it is just incoherent mumbo-jumbo. And that last one there? What the fuck even is that? I can't even understand what he's trying to say there. When she was a child, she wanted to be his wife. What in tarnation? Jennifer Aniston's almost 10 years older than this guy, so it's not like he could have been stalking her since she was a child, unless he built a time machine in his hot tub to travel back so he could stalk her as a kid, and he's also like a pedophile. Like, I have no idea what he's even trying to say. Like, it is absolute fucking gibberish.
Today, a patrol vehicle sits outside Jennifer Aniston's front gate as the man who's accused of crashing through it remains behind bars without bail. Lou Palumbo was Jennifer Aniston's former bodyguard and protects many celebrity clients. He spoke with our producer, Emma Cady.
You said you used to work for Jennifer. Is that the type of person you would be worried about?
A real brain buster of a question. Is that psychopath crashing through her front gate someone you think we should be a little concerned with? You as an expert in bodyguarding, do you think that's someone that would be like a red flag put on your radar as a potential threat? Like, no shit, yeah, obviously. And the guy's like, absolutely. Yeah, he's an obsessed fucking freak. Of course. I'm not entirely sure what the question was hoping to illuminate there. You don't need to be a connoisseur of protecting a human being to know that someone like this is a dangerous individual, someone who is obsessively typing for years about a fantasy relationship and actually flying out to meet them multiple times, trying to meet them, and then eventually crashing into their estate to meet them again, is a problem person, is a bad fucking apple. Like, anybody knows that. That is a very interesting question to ask. Now, he has been taken into custody, and he is facing some charges, and he appeared in court.
Real, she just wants to tell him something.
I don't believe him staying away from Ms. Aniston will be an issue at this time.
Well, it has been an issue.
Mr. Carwile, listen to what I'm saying. Please don't respond. You're not to have any contact with Jennifer Aniston under any conditions. You're to stay 100 yards away from.
He actually looks like those old paintings of Socrates, and he appeared in court shirtless with like a blanket covering him, but he had his fucking pepperonis peeking out from behind it. He was airing his nipples out in court. I didn't even know you could do that. I didn't know that was allowed. I thought that'd be like an immediate contempt or something. So what you were just hearing right now is a judge is ordering a mental competency evaluation before going forward with all the criminal proceedings. But in the meantime, Carwile is not allowed within 100 yards of Jennifer Aniston. But this appearance here I thought was just so fascinating. He 100% looks like a sociopath. Like a caricature of what you think of when you think of like an obsessed stalker psycho. Now, the wife of Mr. Carwile has actually given an interview to Daily Mail apparently, and she sheds a lot of light on this. So according to her, the last time she saw him was September of 2024 when he traveled to California to begin his adventure with Jennifer Aniston. He had allegedly made 2 previous attempts, but turned up no results there, and this was his 3rd venture out there, his 3rd expedition. She said she believed that Jimmy just got a bit aggravated because he couldn't meet the star when explaining why he rammed his car into the gate. I think a bit aggravated is underselling it a little bit. There are few things that would ever elicit that kind of anger that would warrant crashing your car into something. That is dangerous fury. So then she goes on to say that her husband is a great guy, but he had started struggling with mental illness. It's something that's between him and his maker. Mental illness is real. It does not discriminate. He's going through a lot right now. He believed he was Jesus Christ and she was supposed to be his queen. His mentality is nothing like it used to be. Something has triggered him. I don't know if he's having a midlife crisis or what. She's right on the money. Stalking entirely is a mental illness. He is 100% suffering from a mental illness, a very dangerous one. Everyone who stalks does. Now, this guy is also taking it to another level where he is now aggressively stalking violently. He is crashing his car into the home of his victim. Now, she added that he'd reportedly began this obsession in 2023 and was sending her a series of alarming messages, including emails, voicemails, and social media messages. She said he was going there because he was going to meet up with Jennifer. He was going to go see her. He actually thought he was going to meet Jennifer. I guess he was speaking with her. He had the impression that Jennifer Aniston and he were going to talk and meet. So naturally, he's doing what anyone would do. He went across the country. I found that statement to be a little, concerning that she would say, naturally, he's doing what anybody would do. This is not something sane people do under any circumstances, where they'd go across the country because they believed that they had a chance at meeting a complete stranger that would fall in love with them. That is very dangerous ways of thinking. So she says that Carwile believed he would meet up with the actress. He thought maybe she's just going to meet a guy to take a chance. That's the way he was thinking. Obviously, I feel bad for the wife in this because this is something she's been dealing with for 2 years now, where her husband keeps going out to California to be with another woman, to try and have another woman fall in love with him. And he is actively engaging in this at home too, sending messages to another woman obsessed with somebody else. Like, that must be miserable. Now, from what I've seen, Jimmy's looking up at a potential 3 years in prison for this stunt with the charges that he's got. So I guess we'll see how it all shakes out. But I read about this today and thought it was fucking peculiar, so I just wanted to share it a bit. That's it. See ya. Andy Byron is the CEO of a company called Astronomer. And last night, he took a woman to a Coldplay concert. Things didn't go quite as they planned. The ending will shock you, much like a Darman video here. Turns out, Andy Byron is a cheater with Coldplay fever. He brought his side chick to the concert and they got put on the Jumbotron for like the kiss cam, or I guess like showing romance in the audience. And the way they reacted to it was so over the top, it was like they had like a red dot on him from a fucking sniper. So like, Andy hits the deck, basically ragdolls himself. The girl turns around in shame, and they made it pretty clear something fishy was going on here.
Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy. I'm not quite sure.
Lead singer of Coldplay was even surprised by that reaction. He even made a joke like, oh, they might be having an affair or just very shy. Turns out it was the former there. They were indeed having an affair. That is Andy Byron, a married man. That woman is not his wife. That is his chief people officer at his company. Fucking HR. Her name is Kristen. And this is clearly not some kind of business function here. He is wrapped around her like a cloak, like Doctor Strange's cape. They were very clearly there on a romantic evening, a date, a little soiree. And when they got put on the Jumbotron, that was checkmate. Like a furry's nuts after seeing Chester Cheetah. They were busted. So the reaction made it clear something was awry. The internet did some digging. That's how they found out this is Andy Byron, and that woman is Kristen Cabot, or Cabot, something like that, the chief people officer. He is a married man. I don't know if she's also married, I'm not sure, but he 100% is married with a kid. His wife has 100% become aware of this unfaithfulness. As far as I know, she deactivated all of her socials, and it's looking like a real mess. That shit is so sad to see. That is just rough. My heart breaks for the family here. This despicable piece of shit is not only cheating on his wife, but he's cheating on his wife with his chief people officer, and doing it publicly, unashamed, at least unashamed until they got put on the Jumbotron, I suppose. Just taking her to a Coldplay concert. Now, he might have got away with it too if it wasn't for those meddling, Scooby-Doo gang super sleuths out there, because their reaction to this was so extreme that everyone could catch a whiff, smell something a little stinky, so they did the little bit of research on it. Had these two just played it off as no big deal, like they were dating or together already, I doubt anyone would have known that this was an affair. They would probably still be fooling around, canoodling behind his wife's back. But because he melted like Double D from the Ed Netty intro after they were on the Jumbotron, and she turned around and evacuated, then people were tipped off to what was actually happening here. Now, as far as I know, there hasn't been an official statement from Andy or Kristen. I have seen this floating around, but there's no actual source for this, no official source to verify whether or not this is authentic. To me, it seems like a load of fish paste. The first half could potentially be legitimate, it almost seems real, about how Andy is acknowledging, the disappointment and apologizing to his wife and family. But then the second half, I think it's very clearly just taking the piss. I also want to express how troubling it is that what should have been a private moment became public without my consent. I respect artists and entertainers, but I hope we can think more deeply about the impact of turning someone else's life into a spectacle. As a friend once sang, "Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you, Andy." Those are Coldplay lyrics. I think it is meant to be a joke. I don't think this actually comes from Andy. I don't think this is Andy's statement or response to any of it. But I at least wanted to put it here because I see so many people talking about this being his actual statement, which I just don't think it is. And I can't find any source that claims that this is actually from him. So anyway, just wanted to talk about this a bit. This is one of the wackier ways I've seen someone be caught cheating on their wife. It's really about it. See ya. I've made quite a few videos on those really expensive alpha male classes. They're not classes, they're retreats where it teaches you how to be an alpha male. The one I've covered most extensively is the Modern Day Night Project, where it's $18,000 and you spend 3 days getting a hose sprayed in your face, and that's basically it, while getting yelled at by some goobers. These pathetic urinal cake scammers prey upon desperate losers and then turn them into broke, desperate losers. That's basically the entire thing. They tell you how weak you are and how it needs to change, and the only way it's going to change is by giving them thousands and thousands of dollars, and that'll unlock your third eye. These goobers will give you the super soldier serum, turn you into fucking Steve Rogers here, and the $18,000 you paid up front is an investment because they're going to give you all the tools to make millions of dollars, and it's going to make you a real strong, masculine testosterone titan. But then you actually go to the retreat and you spend a few days in a Lowe's parking lot getting a hose sprayed in your face, and that's about the extent of it. Well, I just learned that there's something similar for fathers and sons called the Squire program. It's a $2,000 day where you spend $2,000 to go with your son, to throw sand in each other's faces and take an ice bath, and it's supposed to turn your son into a man and strengthen the bond between father and son.
Your experience was, we have a second chance at a father and son relationship, and this time is when we are the fathers.
In their own sizzler reel here for the Squire program, they drop that little nugget. No matter what your experience was, you get a second chance, except we're the fathers. You're my new dad? Like, what? What do you mean you're the father now? This was supposed to be a father and son experience, but now you're the dad. So now you've now taken the role of the papa. Can you imagine being this much of a loser where you're like, man, my son doesn't respect me. I'm kind of a goofball myself. I'll pay $2,000 so these guys can go spit in my face, only to show up and they're like, no, I'm the dad now. Get away. This is now my son. It is unhinged.
A man has the duty and obligation to raise a son who is capable and confident so that he may be an asset to society and not a liability.
You're going to experience pain today. There's nothing wrong with it. Pain is a powerful tool. It's a powerful motivator, and I think it's one of the most compelling forces for good.
You can see where that $2,000 goes. Straight to the production team. Look at this trailer. It's like a new Marvel movie they're announcing here. Because I can promise you that money's not going into the actual retreat, because you pay $2,000 only to jog around a parking lot, crawl around in some dirt, take an ice bath, and learn basic headlocks. All of that you can do yourself for free. You don't need $2,000 to pay some guy to yell at you, LARPing as the boot camp instructor. You, as the father, could easily go up to your son and be like, hey, look, sport, why don't we go for a run? Why don't we get a little more serious about, like, our physical activity out there? You know, maybe we take classes on, you know, jiu-jitsu or something, or let's get a gym membership. We'll start lifting. You know, you can do those things without paying $2,000 to some weirdos that are just scamming you out of that money. Like, it's so ridiculous.
The Squire program is a 15-hour immersive course where we're literally going to take these young men through trials and tribulations of what it means to be a man. One, go! Breathe, come on. Breathe. Look at me, come on. Don't stop breathing, come on. Stay hard. Look at me.
Yeah, this is what it means to be a man. Paying $2,000 to some greasy slime ball to say stay hard while you take an ice bath with your dad. If I only had a nickel for every time in my adult life being a man I've had to take an ice bath with Pops. Jeez, right? Man, there's nothing I wouldn't be able to afford. This is stupid. This is not taking you through trials and tribulations of what it means to be a man. This is just them doing, like, cosplay, basically, where this is what a man needs to be. And it's literally jumping jacks in dirt and then taking an ice bath. You can do that for free if you want to. You don't need to pay this kind of money for it. And, spoiler alert, it's not going to make you more of a man. Spending 15 hours, one day, doing something physically demanding isn't going to change your life. It is going to change your bank account, though, because of how expensive it is. I guess the idea that almost makes sense if you're a brain-dead troglodyte is that by spending 15 hours a day outside of the comfort of your smartphones and your video games and your V-Bucks, Robux, all of that, it'll turn your son into a man because we had him do some push-ups and jumping jacks and some burpees. Like, you don't need to pay for that. If you want, just tell your son, like, hey, let's stop spending so much time playing those games. Let's do more physically active shit. And that would be a great thing. And it's a lot cheaper. And it's not just a one-time thing. Instead of spending one day doing something like challenging, make it a habit. Make it a routine. And I think it could be a great tool for connecting more with your son, daughter, family, friends. Like, hey, let's do this together. Let's start getting more physically active. You'd save a lot more money, and it would be a lot more beneficial because then you would do it more often than just this one time for $2,000. It's just silly. I do think there is a ton of value in doing things that are uncomfortable. Getting out of your comfort zone and doing something challenging and tough. I do think that's good. This is just the worst way of doing it and the most like caveman approach to it. Like, oh, in order to make Grok strong, Grok must throw sand in my dad's face. I'm not just pulling that example out of my ass either. Like, here's a clip of them just throwing sand on each other. I don't know how this makes you more of a man. This seems like you're going backwards. This is like a child throwing a temper tantrum on the beach when his parents said he can't have another can of Coke. Their pitch on this program is so cringe, too. How will your son know when he's a man? For most boys, there's no defining moment or experience that tells him he's become a man. In fact, most boys today grow up and never truly feel like a man. That's another thing. On their website, there are so many grammatical errors. I guess becoming a man also means becoming illiterate. Most boys simply grow older, but don't really know what it takes to be a man in today's world. That's such a silly mistake. What a stupid douchebag. Don't really know what it takes to be a man in today's world. Did nobody proofread this? Do they just view proofreading as beta shit or something so they don't indulge in it? This is a huge problem, and it's also the reason why so many men today are lost, confused, anxious, lonely, and without purpose. That's why for centuries, tribes and nations have had a rite of passage ritual for their boys as they come of age to become a man. It was the father and the men he trusted who took that boy through an experience which taught him, tested him, challenged him, and showed him what it takes to be a formidable man. The type of man who can lead, love, protect, provide, and be both savage and a servant. A servant? Does that not contradict all of the other shit? You want your son to grow up to be a servant. A servant to who? You guys? One of your little pay piggies? So they can grow up and give you money and keep this cycle going? In times past, this is how boys were shown that it's time to step up and to step into their masculinity and claim their seat at the table with the other men in the tribe. But in our modern culture, this rite of passage experience no longer takes place, and it's why we now have grown men who lack leadership, mental toughness, emotional discipline, and have no definitive purpose in life. But according to you, that purpose in life is to be both savage and also a servant. So the purpose is to give you money. That is the purpose for the men that you guys are trying to train.
Fucking kidding me? Alright, let's try this from the push-up position. Maybe this will work better. Let's all drop into the push-up position. Maybe then we'll focus a little more. Three of us understood that command. That is excellent. If you get this wrong, I'm going to come by and kick everyone in the fucking ribs. You're going to have your head up so you see who I'm pointing at. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Wow, what a tough guy. Threatening to kick children in the ribs. This guy means business, holy. You don't want to tussle with the muscle. This guy's not afraid to threaten children.
3. Okay, good. Now you're going to take a right side step.
How much?
Just like you did the left side step, do a right side step. Yeah. And one more. Good. Take a little 6-inch right step forward.
Masculinity is walking blindfolded behind a Lowe's trying to avoid barbed wire and planks of wood with nails sticking out, while your dad tries to guide you around it. That is absolutely just a recipe for disaster, by the way, because if the kid, like, misheard a direction there and just steps on the nail, it's going right through his shoe and through his fucking foot. Well, potentially, I'm sure they would, like, go in and, like, move the kid out of the way. But that is still just so stupid. It doesn't even teach you anything. Like, what is even the lesson there? How is that masculinity at all? Listening to your dad, I guess? But is that the best way of teaching it? Like, here, put this blindfold on. We're gonna walk through some landmines. I'll try and keep you alive. It's just the dumbest way of trying to do this lesson of, like, listen to your dad. It's so embarrassing. Like, for the father here, too. And also, look at the setup here. It's just some pieces of wood with nails and, like, some barbed wire literally behind whatever business this is. You paid $2,000 for that. If you really wanted to walk this obstacle course, you could have set it up in your backyard for $5 with items you could find at Home Depot. It's just a dumb exercise in the first place, though. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this. Another part of their website has a section about how moms turn babies into boys and dads who turn boys into men. What an incredible section this is. Ugh, moms are bitches, am I right? As fathers, it's our responsibility to guide, mentor, and prepare our sons to take their rightful seat as future leaders. Oh, and servants also. You mentioned servants a minute ago. It's up to us to help make them confident, capable, and courageous. Every young man needs a defining experience that ushers him into manhood, and they look up to you, their dads, to teach them the ways of men and to create that rite of passage. That's exactly why the Squire program was created. Historically, knights had squires to help them prepare their armor, horse, and weapons for war, and the squires had the knights as examples of healthy masculinity, teaching them how to be chivalrous, warriors, protectors, providers, and servant leaders. Your son deserves to be confident and successful, a man of service and compassion, a purpose-driven leader. Not like that baby boy your mom is trying to raise him to be. Your wife, she is a harlot that is setting your son up for failure, which is why you need to go behind her back, give us $2,000 so we can send them through the Squire program for 15 hours. Anyway, it's basically the same shit they were doing with the Modern Day Night Project, but now it's catered towards fathers and sons, and it's still just as cringe. That's really about it. So yeah. Hate is a very strong word, but unfortunately it's not strong enough to encapsulate my feelings on health insurance. I've yapped about it a lot. People have talked about it a lot for a long time. It is the most corrupt, evil industry in this country. You pay a premium every month for years and years with the sole purpose of having this health insurance provider step in should a crisis ever arise to help with the financial burden of the expensive medical procedures or treatment or medicine, whatever it might be. However, should a crisis ever arise, I promise you, your health insurance provider is going to be the first one dancing over your corpse, hitting a fucking whippin' nay-nay as you're going straight to Valhalla because they have denied your claims. It is the most unhinged business model that is trying to capitalize off your death and misery. You pay this company to do one thing, and this company's entire goal, its modus operandi, its chodus operandi, is to find ways to wiggle out of doing the one thing you pay it for. That, I just had to spit, it makes me so sick. That is the tug-of-war back and forth that you sign up with health insurance, and that's normal here. You pay it for something, and its goal is to find ways out of doing the coverage that you're paying for. And right now, the reason why I'm jabbering about it again is because I just learned that Ben Askren, who has been fighting for his life for the better part of a month and some change, is now needing a double lung transplant, which is a very expensive procedure, and has been denied by his health insurance. So now his family has had the result to crowdfunding to try and get the funds together to pay for this life-saving procedure that is medically necessary for him to continue living. It is storming so hard here, even the heavens are angered by health insurance. I don't know if you can hear all of the rain crashing against my window. It sounds like fucking hail, like bowling balls hitting it, and then extreme thunder. But point is, this is infuriating. What do you pay health insurance for if it won't try and cover you in a life-saving procedure? It is a scam. Its entire business model relies on finding ways of denying you coverage so they can save money on the bottom line while milking you dry your whole fucking life as you pay these premiums to them. It is fucking disgusting. I swear to God, people that peddle Fint are more ethical and honest than health insurance companies. Like, there is nothing on this planet that is more scummy and shady than health insurance. I genuinely cannot believe the state that it's in. I'll go ahead and briefly explain what's happened to Ben Askren that's led to needing this double lung transplant, at least briefly. As I understand it, he was hospitalized with pneumonia. He was in critical condition for a while, but started to make slight recovery. According to his family, even got some of his personality back. But in order to live, to survive, he is going to need the lung transplant. So he is on the list awaiting that, but has been denied coverage from health insurance. And I saw a lot of people speculating that, oh, here's another case of a celebrity superstar athlete blowing all of his money, but that is not the case. His family has come out to debunk those rumors. It's not like he's blown through all his money or anything. A lot of his money is tied up in investments and reinvesting into the sport, as well as this just being extraordinarily expensive to just shoulder on your own, even with a ton of money in your back pocket. It's one of the most expensive surgeries there is. And luckily, health insurance has come in here and just went, Pah! So now there is no one to help except for the community. So I'm going to put a link to the fundraiser in the description of this video. It is unbelievable that that's what it comes to. In order to survive, you have to rely on the generosity of others instead of the company that you pay for the sole purpose of trying to help you survive in case of a situation like this arising. It is despicable that this is still happening and will continue happening for the foreseeable future. It's not like it looks like there's going to be any sweeping improvements done to health insurance anytime fucking soon. So his family has started a fundraiser to try and get donations so that way they can cover the medical expenses. I've seen quite a few fighters come forward saying that they're going to help cover it. Dana White posted on his story sharing the fundraiser, but I don't know if he himself personally is donating to it, which I found really odd because Dana White drops like a couple $100,000 to like YouTubers just to be nice to them. Yet I haven't heard about him himself donating for the Ben Askren life-saving surgery. Of course, he's not like required to or anything, but a few $100,000 to Dana White, that's like a night of gambling for him. Anyway, I'll stop blabbering about health insurance being a fucking scam, which it is. It is a scam. This is just really sad. That's really about it. See ya. Today I'm going to give you a little lesson free of charge here, no course purchase required, about recognizing and accepting rejection.
The girls only table.
It's only girls table?
Yeah, I'm asking you to leave. I'm respectfully asking you to go to another table.
If you want to like speak with you guys, like...
There are plenty of tables, like there's that one over there that you guys could go to.
Why is she so rude?
Because I'm not, go away.
It's true.
Go, begging.
Now I'll go ahead and break this down here like John Madden going over a play. These are subtle signs that she's not entirely interested in you and doesn't want you to continue to pursue her. So this video's popped off with people shooting spitballs at the two dudes here and everyone giggling about it. Matt sent it to me this morning. It's pretty fascinating. So what happened here is apparently they sat down at this table to try and woo and win the hearts of these two women here. And they weren't really having it. They didn't want that. So they are both telling them to please leave. Literally in no uncertain terms, just saying go. But the two goobers still just sit there like a fucking half-smiling emoji the whole time. Like they are actual video game characters, but they forgot to program other facial animations. It is so interesting.
On my knees, go.
It's just like
it's our table.
It's just weird for you to just sit down with us. Like
go to the table where there's no people. Right there. You see that? Guys, there's no one over there. You should go sit there. I think you should go sit there. Look, it's crying. It has no people at its table. You guys need to go over there.
My brother likes your friend.
That's good. We are both in relationships, and I'd love if you'd leave.
Why so great?
Go away, please. Go. Go.
I love how the main stooge of this dynamic duo of desperation just continues to ask why she's being so rude instead of just leaving. Like, it's not like this is a very tricky situation to understand here. Like, it's not like she's speaking in riddles. She is just outright saying many times, go, please leave, go to that table over there, get the fuck out of here, dweebs. Like, Jiminy Christmas, it sounds like she's talking to a dog about going outside to go to the bathroom. But at least the dog understands that. Like, these guys are still just sitting there as if they have some chance to salvage this. I don't know what's running through this main guy's head where it's like, okay, there's still hope here. We can still get some pussy out of this, I believe in it. Like, no, this is beyond kaput here. Like, what the fuck? It's absurd. Now, I understand it's entirely possible that English isn't their first language, but here's the thing. Anger is universal. Even if you don't speak a fucking tiddlywink of the language, you can still recognize when someone is yelling at you. Like, if someone is pointing and getting loud and animated, you can make a really good guess that they're probably telling you to scram. These aren't mixed signals or anything, you know, hard to decipher. It's not some kind of grand mystery to solve. They are clearly not interested, and there is really nothing you can do besides continue to make a fool of yourself here. That is the only outcome.
Go! Do you want me to spill your Guinness on you? Because I will. Go! 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 Go away! I'm asking you to fucking leave. Go! 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 I guess we'll go then. You want our table? We'll fucking go. Go! Go! Leave! I'm asking you to fucking leave. Go! Get away! Witch! 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 Go!
I love how when they say, okay, we'll just leave, then you guys can take the table, you won, you planted your flag, here it's yours. And then as they're leaving, the guys start scooting with them like, no, don't go! Like, what? Trying to follow them around like a hemorrhoid here. How can you not have any level of shame? What? Literally following them around like Pikmin. I really think he perceived this whole exchange here as playful banter and flirting as part of the romantic process here, as part of the coitus protocol, which is just unhinged. It is so delusional. She has literally screamed in a public restaurant about you leaving and shouted witch at you. Now, even if you've been completely poisoned by Hollywood romance films, you won't see that scene in there where the protagonist somehow turns that situation into a fucking marriage or something between the two of them. It doesn't happen. It's not going to happen. But he just keeps smiling about the whole thing as if he's, like, absent. Like, it literally looks like his brain is blue-screened, and he still just sits there taking all of it as, like, a good thing. Like, laughing and following them. How are you not humiliated? I'm also going to make a bold prediction here that after all of this, these two dudes walked away thinking that those two girls were the problem. Like, man, those crazy bitches, can you believe the way they yelled at us? What's up with that? That's ridiculous, huh? Like, it will never dawn on them that maybe their approach to this was just dog shit. Like, come on. Let's turn this into a teachable moment here, though I hope there's no one out there that actually needs a lesson in how dumb this is. When you try and invite yourself into someone else's company and they're not receptive to it, like they're asking you not to, you're never going to win that battle of wills where you're forcing your presence upon them and you're going to make it a positive experience for anybody. It's not a fucking car sale. Like, this not taking no for an answer and just being annoyingly persistent like a little cockroach, no one likes that. Even outside of the context of trying to get your wiener wet here. People aren't obligated to give you the time of day and play nice when you try and force yourself upon them through this sense of entitlement where everyone owes you a conversation and a shot. No matter how hard you try and put that triangle into the square hole, it just doesn't fit. No one likes that. And especially in a case like this, just accept the no, accept the rejection, and move the fuck on. Anyway, just wanted to talk about this video a little bit. That's it. See ya. We never caught the Zodiac Killer, nor DB Cooper, but by golly, I tell you what, you know who we did catch? The Cucumber Butthole Blaster. And I'd say that's good enough. For 7 months, Washington, D.C. citizens have slept in fear, paralyzed with anxiety over the thought that he was out there. Nothing was safe. And for 7 months, we didn't know if he'd ever actually be brought to justice, thrown in the slammer for his degenerate actions with a cucumber. I made a video 7 months ago covering the genesis of this villain. He was captured on camera going up to this car after pulling a cucumber from his lunchbox. He walked over with the big iron on his hip. He then grabbed the cucumber, slapped it into the grill of the car, and then fucked his ass with it. He rode it like a scooter. Well, that is if you ride scooters sitting down, I guess. He rode it like he was galloping on a horse, but it was a cucumber blowing out his fucking guts. Anyway, we have the chilling video camera footage of the event. I won't curse you with that again. I'm not trying to make this like a, you know, the VHS tape from The Ring where you get your butt fucked in 7 days by a cucumber or something, just having watched this degenerate act. But basically, he put it in the grill of the car. He did that, captured on camera. It also happened to be like right next to a school. The whole thing just unbelievably disgusting. Turns out he has a history of doing sex acts like that around the area. This was the only cucumber one that's been reported. This is not what the VeggieTales died for, I'll tell you that much. But he has very extensive history with doing sex acts in public with things like handrails and rakes. And today, he's finally been sentenced.
Being sexually explicit with a cucumber in the middle of the day around the corner from a D.C. high school.
He was sentenced today for a string of sex acts near several families' homes.
What started as a search for a man pleasuring himself in public with a cucumber, now ending with a jail sentence for not one, but a string of alleged sex acts from late July into early September last year.
Now, in the first footage, the initial tapes that captured the cucumber incident where he slapped it in the car's grill, turning it into a unicorn and then cleaning his colon out with it, well, it wasn't just that. He then, after finishing with the car, grabbed the cucumber again and then just bent over and just full-blown, you know, like he was playing a violin with the cucumber, but in his ass. And he did that a few times in and out, and then threw the cucumber back in the lunchbox and then went about his day. I speculated that he may have been out going to do it somewhere else, too. Like, it looked like the director's cut, where it would be like the cucumber butthole blaster will return at the end of, like, you know, the fucking Thunderbolts movie. So, it was just... I had a theory that this wasn't a one-time thing. Turns out, I was correct. I think most people speculated that, though, by the way. It wasn't like a crazy call for me here. He has a history of doing this. You saw a couple of photos there where he's like riding the handrails and he was apparently inserting like the end of handrails up his butt.
Mere yards down the street where 31-year-old Anthony Hines II was caught on camera in broad daylight with the vegetable he just pulled from a lunchbox. Court documents show a string of similar incidents, mostly involving handrails. And one, police explicitly said, is shaped like a pine cone. Another handrail, allegedly hit on 2 occasions, is now wrapped with what looks like sandpaper.
Honestly, just put that handrail out of its misery. Just send it to the fucking grave. It doesn't want to live anymore, I'll tell you that much. The sandpaper's only going to do so much. Just take it down, destroy it. It's ruined. It's completely ruined. This weirdo just cruising around Washington, D.C. on freaky mode. Anytime he sees a handrail, he just gets a boner. Also, when he was doing all of these things, did he go to completion till he ejaculated? Like, it's already a huge health hazard, just putting his bare anus on all of these handrails and handles of rakes. Like, I feel like that's a pretty serious thing. Like, there's probably people that use those handrails and maybe got sick fucking pink eye or something, cholera, I have no E. coli. It feels like a pretty big deal to me, but his sentencing was very light. I'll spoil the surprise. He got sentenced to 360 days in jail, but he's only going to be serving 6 months and then some probation. I think that's less than a slap on the wrist. He's going to do it again. For 6 months, he will probably, when he gets out, I would imagine the next day, park your cars in the garage or hide them under some trees somewhere, anywhere out of sight, because there is going to be a rampage with this man and every vegetable he can find at the supermarket. He will be going everywhere, putting everything in his butt across all of Washington, D.C. Mark my words. Like, that is not nearly punishment enough for this, I think.
Footage in one homeowner's backyard reportedly caught Hines using the handle of a garden rake in a sex act.
Public or private, anywhere in your backyard, man, it's not appropriate, I don't think.
Homeowners impacted told me they're relieved for a bookend to the bizarre case, including one whose SUV was targeted with the cucumber, saying she's grateful for the police work, adding, quote, "I'm thankful to the community for helping crack the case of the vegetable voyeur and look forward to enjoying farmers market season in peace."
Yeah, it is nice he was arrested and will be going to jail, but it's not for that long. You can enjoy the farmers market for approximately 6 months. This dude, upon being released, I would wager a guess will probably walk down the steps, take down his britches, and immediately start flossing his ass crack with the handrail outside the jailhouse. That would be my guess. Like, this is definitely someone who is just out of control. He has a history of doing this with handrails, the fucking handle of a garden rake, a cucumber on some stranger's car right next to a school. Like, come on.
And just today, Hines was sentenced for 5 counts of lewd, indecent, or obscene acts, 4 counts related to accessing private property when he wasn't supposed to be there. He did plead guilty and was sentenced to 360 days in jail, but will serve 6 months according to the terms after pleading guilty, and an additional 2 years of probation.
I can't help but just think about that sandpaper handrail one more time real quick. Was that like a preventative measure that they put there? Like, they wrapped it in sandpaper to try and discourage copycat criminals from fucking themselves on it? Or did he, the cucumber butthole blaster, wrap it in the sandpaper for his pleasure? And then the question becomes, how did he not just leave it covered in blood? Like, if he wrapped in sandpaper and then just started, you know, bouncing on it crazy style, how did he not rub all the skin off of his sphincter? So to me, it feels like it was put there after the fact, and I don't see how that does anything at all. It just feels, that whole tidbit of lore there with that handrail post asshole incident is just a little confusing to me, but maybe I'm just not thinking about it properly and can't fully grasp the real intention behind the sandpaper. I think it's also worth mentioning, these are the only cases we know of. There's a chance that every handrail in Washington, D.C. has faced the wrath of this man's asshole. Like, we can't rule out that possibility. This is only what he's been caught with here on these handrails, and that garden rake, and that cucumber on that car. But it could have been spanning years. Only God has that information. We can't possibly seek to understand how long he's been doing this or how many handrails have been compromised out there. Stay safe, Washington, D.C. Yes, he may be going to jail, but the damage that his anus has done, well, there's no telling the extent. Anyway, I just want to kind of give you the update here on this story. Pretty wacky, wild, and disgusting one, huh? That's really about it. See ya. Hey, it's that magical time again where we get to point, laugh, and shoot spitballs at a creepy degenerate being weird to a woman. So I hope you've done all of your smile exercises, because we're gonna be putting a big ol' grin on that face and having a hoot and a holler at this guy's expense.
So, crazy silly question, but I'm just curious. I know you don't like coffee, and I know you don't, and I know you eat cereal in the evening.
Yeah.
And I know you have a son, right?
Yeah.
And I know you're about early 30s.
So Goober approaches this woman who's on the leg press machine, and he immediately just starts listing off things he knows about her, which just sounds like some stalker shit. Like, it sounds like a mission out of Hitman, where Agent 47's being given a dossier and going over his target's interests and, like, where they might be so they can plan out the assassination. This is just, like, such a creepy, cold open here. I know I'm reading way too deep into this situation and it's starting to get dangerously delusional, but for some reason when I first saw this clip, it immediately reminded me of a climactic moment in an action movie when the villain is monologuing to the hero, like a fucking phone call. I know you don't like coffee. I know you're in your early 30s. I know the FBI is listening to this call right now. I know you have a son. His name is Mark. He attends Biff Gilmore High. Do this task for me. And all the agents listening to this, stay out of it. And nothing has to happen to Mark. It's just a really odd, peculiar play here. This is definitely not a play that John Madden would draw up. To just approach her and start listing off all the things you know about her, it's just weird. I'm assuming she and him have talked before, which is why he knows all this. They probably have, like, small talk. They're probably on friendly terms. I don't think he's been, like, perusing her Facebook trying to digest all of the lore that she publicly posts about herself there. But it's still weird to then come up and just start, like, spouting it all back to her about everything you know.
That's what I've learned so far. Yeah, you know, I don't know. I think you're really cool. I know you have a son. I tell you, you know, straight up, like, I kind of sort of married, like, I kind of feel like I am.
You know how everything has an opposite? Wet, dry, light, dark, matter, antimatter? This guy is anti-charisma. He is the exact opposite of Riz. Like, this dude legitimately has less game than someone that is asleep. He is stumbling through whatever he was cooking up in his noodle here, and it is extraordinarily uncomfortable to listen to. It's like the first draft of a book report where there's still a ton of typos and grammatical mistakes and nothing's making sense, it's all scatterbrained. That's what's happening through this whole exchange. And yet he still is able to squeak out that bombshell there that he's actually married while actively hitting on this woman. And you can see the shock and surprise on her face to learn that little nugget of information about this guy. If I had to speculate a guess, I would imagine he's been flirtatious in the past, which is why she's even more surprised by it. So he's just a big scumbag piece of shit here for this.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. But I don't know. There's something about you that's really cool. Like just casual, but I don't know if you would have pizza with me sometime or something.
I'm pretty sure your wife is not a pretty.
Good golly, heavens to Betsy, this guy fucking sucks at talking to women. He is speaking to her like he is still in middle school. He just keeps repeating, I think you're cool, I think you're really cool. Like, I half expected him to just go even harder on that, like, I actually think you're epic. Do you want to come over and see my Fortnite, KD? And then we can grab a pizza. Like, there's nothing wrong with a pizza date, I want to be clear there. But it's just this combination of, you're so cool, cool, let's get pizza. Like, that's what I imagine a 12-year-old thinks romance is like. You're cool, get pizza with me, I'll have my mom order Papa John's. Like, what the fuck? It sounds like he's about to bring up cooties. Like, I don't even care if you have cooties, it's okay. Like, he sounds like a fucking child talking to her through text messages. Like, circle yes if you like me, if you like me. Oh, it's so bad. Honestly, this might be inspirational for someone out there. It doesn't matter how awkward or uncomfortable you are, you could still find a partner. Somehow this guy has a wife. Somehow this complete fucking turbo loser has a wife. And now he's trying to cheat on her. So don't be like this guy, but at least let this be known that you don't have to be the most charismatic person out there or be the most socially adept at speaking to other people to find a partner. So maybe there's a little positive spin there. But anyway, back to spitting and shitting on this goofball. The lady here is being extremely sweet about this whole thing as opposed to just splashing the cold water on him and saying, get the fuck away from me. She is tiptoeing around this, probably because she doesn't want to make a scene out of it. Most women usually try and let someone down in a nice way, because if they don't, it could get dangerous. Like, there's no telling how unhinged this guy is. He's trying to fucking cheat on his wife, and he's being brutally honest about it. He is a weirdo. So it's definitely the smart call to just be like, oh, I don't think your wife would approve of us getting pizza or going to play laser tag or whatever other childish fucking offer you were about to make. Like, her being nice about it is the optimal move, but it also keeps her wrapped up in this conversation, unfortunately. So I feel so fucking bad for her because he continues to press, and he's already interrupted her workout. So I imagine it's just this giant fucking headache, this huge annoyance because this uncomfortable miasma of cringe has approached her and won't leave. Like the storm just will not pass.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, glad you're up front, but yeah.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Yeah, exactly. Right, no. That's why I said that, I wanted to be, but, I won't say unfortunately, because, being married's good. But, sometimes sometimes you meet somebody that just never can.
Bingo. Peekaboo, I see you. I was so curious what this guy looked like. I was freeze framing on every single goddamn pixel of this thing, trying to catch just a glimpse of him here to finally get this Bigfoot photo with him peeking in the top right there. I always get so curious in situations like this. What does the person look like who's conducting themselves this way? I know it's not important, but for me, a mystery like this sometimes just needs a little bit of closure. Anyway, he continues with his speech. I don't want to say unfortunately, because being married's great. I love it. But sometimes need something with a little bit more of a connection. A man like me can't be hunkered down to just one woman. You know what's better than one pussy? My wife's? Your pussy. That's 2 vaginas. Double the fun. What say you to that? Come get a pizza with me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, but yeah, like it's my connection wouldn't be your connection. I'm married.
Hopefully, does lose faith in men and humanity, right? Like it makes us scared women to ever want to get married because we don't know if they're out of the gym doing that.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I don't blame you. I'm mad at you. At least you're honest, but
he's going into full car salesman pitch mode right now with the hard sell. My connection's your connection. Buy 2, get 2 free. Come on now. What are you waiting for? The deal's depreciating. Come on. It's, what are you doing? And she is doing her absolute best to be nice here. She is doing everything she can to be, sweet in this situation. To try and, just get through this as pain-free as possible so she can go back to working out, which is what she went there to do. Oh my god, it's so fucking rough. And the guy just keeps going.
No, sure. Oh no, I mean, I wouldn't, have not told you, Up to this point, I just kind of said hi and let it off, and that's it. And I was, I was really wouldn't think about it. It's unfair even to, you also. So, what the hell? What's the point?
The way he just blabbers on and gets all jumbled up on each word reminds me of that viral meme of that kid who was doing a line reading but accidentally messed it up. Have you ever had a dream where you could, and you never want, but you could, and you never, but do it so bad? Like that? That is his entire statement to this woman here. Just a bunch of gobbledygook.
I mean, probably the best scenario is, and I'm not saying this would ever happen, but seriously, if you knew my wife and you know what I mean, we were all friends, that's different.
Yeah.
But and you actually would like her. She's very nice. Yeah. You'll probably meet her sometime. Actually, she hasn't been, but she does come sometimes. So when we're here and I see you, I'll introduce you.
That's where our adventure ends. And man, what a journey it was, huh? I don't know where to begin with that closing statement. If only you knew my wife and we were all friends, that's different. You'll probably meet my wife at some point. You'll fucking love her. I mean, she's great. You'll love her. In fact, my wife would actually love if I cheated on her with you, and that can happen after you meet her. You know, I'll just introduce you next time that she's here, and we can talk about how I was trying to cheat on her by taking you on dates. And I think we'll all have a good laugh about it. We'll all become great friends, and then it's all smooth sailing. Just a fucking weirdo, loser, degenerate creep. Pretty impressive one here. So, yep, just wanted to talk about this a little bit. That's about it. See ya. So I wanted to start with this story. I haven't watched this yet. I've only read the Cliff Notes. There's a gym owner who owns a for females only gym, I believe. Yeah, 24-hour gym for females. And he has been caught red-handed, pants down, basically, with a camera in the woman's bathroom. And he's defending himself here in a statement trying to explain away why it's there. And I haven't watched the interview, so I'm pretty excited to see what his explanation could be. I wonder if he's going to try and take it on the chin and be like, I put it there. What are you going to do about it, huh? It's my gym. Or if he's going to be like, no, I got framed. Burglar broke in and installed a camera, dirty pervert. So let's see what kind of tactic he chooses.
I suspected someone of stealing from me. I spent some time. I'm part of their family.
Let me just stop you right there. So you suspect they steal from you. But why do you put the camera in the bathroom? If you have like a really strong suspicion, you could kind of just like confront them on it. I don't think you need to gather locker room evidence and keep a camera installed there for it. Also, what are they stealing from the gym? Dumbbells? I feel like there's not a whole lot of contraband. I guess maybe snacks? Like, there's not a whole lot that you could really take from a gym. Easily, that is. You could just wait for them after you have a suspicion and then, like, confront them and check their bag or something.
I confronted them directly about it.
Nice.
They denied it.
Okay.
I had 99% certainty it was them.
Why not just...
could have kicked them out.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
An absolute life-altering decision to put it there in the bathroom.
I still don't see how that really solves the problem. You could have just revoked their membership. If you're 99% sure, you don't need to install a security camera in the woman's bathroom in order to get that extra 1% of certainty. For your own peace of mind, and for the sake of staying out of criminal charges, you could have just pulled the trigger and said, hey, look, I think you're stealing from me. I think you're lying. Please don't come back to the gym. You didn't need to have your security camera there as well. This all feels like a very convenient lie for why the security camera would be in the woman's bathroom.
And they arrived, and I said, this is my option, this is my opportunity to do it. At which point, the new member that had been here for 4 days instead goes in there.
Oh no.
Realized at that earlier time before 5 o'clock. I thought to stop them. They find it, bring it to my attention.
So it wasn't even like a hidden camera or anything. This man just set up like a, like a tripod or something with a camera in there? Making it look like a Brazzers photo shoot? So he only had it up for a day. Very interesting. Not even a crafty peeping Tom, just a very egregious planting of a camera. There's no excuse. Well, obviously not, man. This guy's fishing for any crumb that he can drum together to explain why he puts a camera in the woman's locker room. He was better off saying they're stealing from other members. Oh, you should be his PR guy. You're right, that would have been a stronger position for him to take. I put it there for the safety of all the other women. We had a criminal amongst us, and I had to catch him. I did this for all of you, ladies. Now, which one of you is coming to my house tonight, Yeah, you were onto something with that one. Also, one thing I've always thought is kind of weird is when it's like a man behind a women's only facility, or rather a women focused facility. Like, it just feels weird to have this guy be the one behind 24-hour gym for females. I don't know if that's like only for women or not, but I feel like that's just kind of an odd thing to do. Like, that's kind of a red flag. I feel like that should be like, this is woman owned and operated and it's for women primarily, as opposed to having this guy kind of come in. It seems more like alarming to me, but maybe that's just me. I don't know, maybe I'm thinking too deeply on it now, in hindsight being 2020.
I am doing the same thing with the police when they arrive, at which point, due to my criminal past, everything that I've been through, I knew it was not going to look good.
Yeah, because it's not good.
Spoke to detectives the next day.
What's his criminal past? Is that in the article here? God, Lord have mercy. Hopefully not sex crimes. So they had a search warrant to his residence where they found a ghost gun and misdemeanor quantity of testosterone. I know what they mean, but this is like a pretty cool statement. He had too much testosterone. They're coming for our testosterone, boys. Run and hide. I know what this is, though. I understand what this charge is. It just sounds silly. So he was charged with felon in possession of firearm, felon in possession of ammunition, and possession of an undetectable firearm, and was also charged with 2 misdemeanors of using an instrument to view an area of privacy and possession of testosterone. Possession of testosterone, such a cool charge. Again, I know exactly what they're referring to, but fuck me, it sounds cool. He had 7 previous convictions for various crimes, including drug charges, public intoxication, DUI, prowling between 2006 and 2008. All the convictions were purged from his record in 2018. So they clarified that he was only charged with recording in a place of privacy surreptitiously? What the fuck is that word? Surreptitiously? He was not charged in a crime for sexual gratification. Henry Cavill might get 20 to life for his testosterone levels. Oh, he's possessing too much testosterone, you're right. He's not leaving enough testosterone for the rest of us. He should be charged.
And so, why speak now?
Now that there's been a determination of no images or photography of any non-consensual nature, now that I have people who really count on me, wondering if I'm someone to do something like this, and now that I'm just no longer wanting to take only legal advice, I want to speak freely, because I just feel like this is what I need to do.
I don't know, man. It just seems highly unlikely that anyone's this stupid to put a camera in the woman's bathroom in order to catch someone stealing less than $400 from you? I don't think so. I think he had a great lawyer, is what it sounds like to me. You'd have to be criminally stupid to think that that's a good idea. Like, legitimately. Basically saying he wasn't beating his meat watching women. Surreptitiously means in secret. Ah. He just found out that's illegal. Your Honor, you haven't taken into account that I didn't know I couldn't do this. You're free to go.
I spent so much time creating a place that was security and reprieve from life's craziness. And this has made it to where this place is now felt as the most uncomfortable and most violating place to be. And I am...
Yeah, interesting how that works when you put a camera in the bathroom. Fascinating. Again, I don't know if I necessarily buy into the, I don't necessarily buy the testosterone he's peddling here about how he just did this because he was trying to catch a thief. I really struggle to come to terms with the reality where someone doesn't realize you can't put a fucking camera in the woman's bathroom, or any bathroom for that matter. Like, I feel like everybody has to know that. Oh, well here, this actually goes into what was stolen. He told the Tribune around June he discovered some of his personal grooming products were missing from the vanity in one of the bathrooms. He said he stored teeth whitening gel, tanning foam, and a tanning glove, and $180 worth of face serum beneath the sink in a place that he felt was clear it was not for public use. Why would you store it there, though? If it was getting taken, like, I truly believe they just didn't know that it wasn't for, like, communal use. Why would you be storing your personal grooming products in your women's only gym restroom? What is that logic? Oh, he placed a GoPro in the bathroom. Corgan said he discussed what to do with one of his closest employees and his ex-girlfriend and ultimately decided to place a GoPro in the bathroom facing the vanity. Why would you ask your ex-girlfriend for advice on how to handle this? This seems like like sabotage from her, like getting in his ear. No, Corgan. GoPro in the women's bathroom. It's the only way. Is to get back at him. Yeah, GoPro's not exactly the most discreet or anything. Man just fucking posted that shit up. He situated it at a 45-degree angle on top of a mop bucket left by his janitor, ensuring it was pointed at the vanity without the toilet in frame. He said he did not put a memory card in the camera and did not have it on a setting where it stored recordings or photos to a cloud-based system. What the fuck? He just placed it on top of a mop bucket? How would he think someone wouldn't see that? He may as well have just set up a tripod. He honestly may have well just set up a tripod and tried to play it off like, oh my god, I was filming TikToks in that bathroom earlier and just forgot it. He said he put it on live view setting where he had to be within 30 feet of the camera to view the feed. He said he planned to only view it when his friend was in the gym. Okay. He seems very remorseful in this video, but I think that's mainly because he knows his goose is cooked. Like, this is a pretty indefensible thing. His business is going to shut down. I can't imagine, well, I don't know if it will or not, but I can't imagine any women are going to feel safe going there again. You have the gym owner putting a fucking GoPro in your bathroom. Let's just assume that he's being honest and he's just so stupid to catch a thief that he would do that. That's still a pretty dangerous person to be around. To someone that dumb. That would be unsafe. So I feel like any of his clients or any women that are looking for a gym membership would steer clear from this place, rightfully so, as a result. In our society today, most people view bodybuilders, or just in general big, beefy, monstrous meatball muscle men, as stupid or dumb, and I think that stereotype's kind of fucked up because it takes a lot of self-discipline, as well as education, knowing what exercises to do, how the body responds to certain things, how to eat, when to eat. There's a whole lot that goes into the art of getting jacked or yoked, shredded, fat-dicked. It's a lot more than just lifting heavy things, so to call them all dumb just because some of them are really stupid and really fucking dumb is just kind of a disservice to the whole community, and honestly I think it needs to stop. I'm tired of going out in public and being discriminated against because I am so monstrously jacked. Alright, I'm tired of getting pointed and laughed at in the grocery store, not because of my height, but because of my bulging vascular muscles literally ripping through my clothing because this skin suit wasn't meant to handle this level of fitness, popping out of my skin. You know, this world wasn't built for biceps this size, these pythons. You see, I don't like being judged just because I'm so goddamn massive. And luckily there is one brave hero in the bodybuilding community who walked shirtless through a train as onlookers looked on in confusion to prove a point that bodybuilders are brave too, I guess. And he monologues about cosmic space farts or something. It's a pretty fucking awesome video, to be honest. Now this video from Frank Yang is titled Myron Gains on a Train, and I'll translate this into English for those of you that don't speak bodybuilder. It means looking at his muscles, as if anyone on this train had any other choice as he's walking down these crammed little walkways, damn near forcing people to motorboat his chest. But anyway, just even looking at this physical specimen is stimulating my muscle growth.
So I've been going out and reacting with other characters in a video game after exiting the screen. And I feel like a cosmic vagina getting banged by the whole world. And when I go inside a train, I was never in the train. The train goes into me. I was never inside the world is inside me.
Yeah, I feel that on a very existential level. I think we can all relate to that to a certain degree. We all just have those days where we feel like a cosmic vagina getting butt-fucked by the universe. I also think it's a very profound statement he makes when he says, he is not in the train is in him. It's the same logic I use when wiping my asshole and the toilet paper breaks away and my finger goes up my asshole. I say to myself, my finger didn't go in my asshole went in my finger. Then I take a sniff, feel shame as a grim reminder of the mistake I once made, but it's that logic, that thought process, that helps me sleep at night.
The whole of reality feels like it's blinking and pausing and vibrating in and out of existence in a micro succession of death and rebirth to infinity. Like every moment or every movement is my first and my last. Like I've been split roasted by death and orgasm and death and orgasm.
What? Death is making you orgasm? Getting spit roasted by death and orgasms? What kind of fucking pierce the veil lyrics are those?
If everything's moving extremely fast, near the speed of light, then everything's standing still, like Einstein's theory of relativity. And I feel like I'm just free-falling through eternity.
I'm sure this is exactly how Einstein envisioned his theory of relativity being used, by a man walking shirtless and semi-chub through a crowded train.
Now there's no doer here. I can't make a mistake because reality never makes mistake.
Bullshit, Frank. Reality makes mistakes all the time. My dad is 6'5" and I'm 5'6". Checkmate, reality. I always think the most embarrassing part of these kind of videos is the person filming, because people can clearly see you're filming this. That's just so shameful. Unless these two guys just don't feel shame anymore, like their muscles have grown so large they've shed the need of that emotion. They've gone on this quantum muscular journey through the universe, becoming the singular preeminent celestial being that has shed itself of all corporeal emotions.
And I've been having experiences of living the lives of other people. If you destroy the conditioning that the brain or awareness is inside the head, by definition, the way you connect with other minds is it's closer than close. It's like a quantum entanglement where one particle can affect another particle at the other side of the universe, because there's no distance. Infinity knows no distance or time or space. And I think that's what reincarnation is. It's not that you experience the life of you in another lifetime or whatever in the past, but you're experiencing other people's minds and lives right now.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think the science on that would check out, though I'd have to get the updated version of the university textbook to confirm his theory or not. However, taking it at face value, it certainly sounds plausible.
Synchronicities are on another level. I would think of a question and the other person that I'm talking to would answer the question at the same time.
The synchronicities seem to be way out of whack here. You guys are not on the same wavelength. This guy stood up, puffed out his chest, and was ready for a fight. Don't know if it happened because it cuts away here, but goddamn, I can't even imagine how insecure that guy is. Yeah, I'd be kind of bothered if there's a shirtless man being a douchebag and filming it on a train, but I also wouldn't get up to challenge it. That's just making yourself the bigger douchebag in this situation. Low-budget Conor McGregor here, I guess maybe got worried that his girlfriend would immediately jump on this guy's muscles or something. I really have no idea why he would get so hot and bothered. It's just a nuisance, a public nuisance. Just move on. There's really not much else you can do about it, especially in a society that highlights public nuisances like this and makes them like superstars. You standing up just makes the situation much more uncomfortable and much more of a bother to everyone else around you.
It's the same substance, but when you peek through the box from the inside, everything is the mind. But if you look at the box from the outside, it's matter. It's like a whole new reality, but at the same time, nothing has changed.
Surprise, now there's two dudes walking shirtless through the train. Bet you didn't expect that twist ending, you cosmic queef. Well, yeah, I mean, you know, he made a lot of good points here, and he certainly put on quite the show in the train. I bet they'll remember that for a long time. He did a lot of cool shit. Congratulations, Frank. That was absolutely wild. Thank you for taking us on that journey. See ya.